We are a seer. We had a vision of our home being destroyed, everybody getting murdered. Uh, so we are now acting upon that vision and trying to prevent that. The first things we're going to do is we're going to go retrieve a MacGuffin sword, and then we're going to leave. As soon as the game figures out how to launch, I guess. There we go. I just had to complain about it. Alright, continue. Also, I did do a little bit of research. I can't date the dragon. I'm sad. Okay, God, this game is worrying me. Here we got to a free explorer bit, so now we can find books, so we can do some other things. I think all the books, and it seems interesting. Everything that Miles found worth in was already on the table. That, and on his little desk by the window, facing Valinor. Must be great to live in a place with such a nice view. Why did that come across as, like, really petty? Miles isn't using this task, so I assume it's fair game. I push aside a few papers, looking for anything of note. A book on Salberg grabs my interest, as he brought it up. Apparently, the spirit idol there has stopped giving off energy.
Valinorth's line of seers. The seers of Valinorth have helped guide our nation to a state of constant peace. Everyone in Valinorth lives a simple and happy life under the guidance of the spirit realm. There's only one seer or seeress per generation, and their birth is marked by a surge of energy emanating from our spirit idol located in Salberg. There's a rotation of guards who watch the idol when a birth is expected to take place. As there can only be one seer or seeress at any given time, and the spans of time without them are very small, we can accurately predict when another shall be given to us. With Valinorth's small population, it
So
is
at the
very
end of the
rare
most
for
recent
multiple
one.
births to happen on one night. However, that is not the purpose of my writing. I wish to discuss what was observed on the night of the most recent generation. Typically, the spirit idol will have a burst of light and energy before returning to a dim state. However, with the latest birth, there was no dim state. Only darkness remained when the final seer was given to us. The implications that this has on the future of both Valinorth and Alestia are too large to even fathom.
Yeah, we
We
going
must simply
hard.
take each
We're
day as it comes, knowing our dependence on the spirits will grow smaller and smaller. Now, we must come to rely on the rest of Alestia, instead of only ourselves. I will seek out potential partners in the future.
we
The Elder
dive
of Valinorth.
we be diving in hard into the furriness.
I had no idea that they were hiding such a secret.
Audio balance.
Valinorth could run out of spiritual energy for good? The cold from Eastcrown could easily kill us off.
Horton, don't worry. It could be thousands of years before we run out. Besides, at this
Because
point,
my one
it's still
complaint so
conjecture.
far about this game is the audio is, like, not normalized. Unless you're supposed to be shouting. But then again, the book reading was really quiet. Anywho, how you doing, Hoodie? Okay. I guess they're just reading that over my shoulder then. How rude. I examine the table, looking at the scattered pieces of paper. Miles is deep in his studies, and I really hate to bother him. I want to read some as well, so I try to grab something he's put aside.
On Valinorth's blood leaves. Though it doesn't look like it at first glance, Valinorth is
Blood
actually
leaves.
settled high atop the
Spooky.
mountains of Alestia. Many believe that it is the spiritual energy that keeps our village and its surrounding areas warm.
Also,
But the reach of
taxes
this
delayed
energy is
stream,
not
that's why we're
infinite,
starting late.
and it cannot affect the colder climate seen in Eastcrown. We don't venture into Eastcrown simply because our bodies would not be able to handle it. Either way, that is a separate story, and I wish to touch upon the blood leaves native to Valinorth. At the very top of the grand tree, for an unknown reason, the leaves grow a crimson red. We have no explanation for this, though some people believe that these are the tears from the departed.
What kind of food will you be inserting into your
A
gut?
superstition, to say the least. Every few years, a gale of cold wind comes from East Crown and assaults the canopy of Valinor. This causes many of the leaves to wilt and fall off.
And
The wind
but
carries these dead leaves
if
on
I
a
do
journey
them,
through
I get
celestial
like
skies,
my money back.
including the aforementioned blood leaves. The rest of the world sees the falling of the blood leaves as an omen, a portent of bad things to come. The sky being painted red with these leaves may look scary to some, but those who live in Valinor see it as a natural event. The Elder
I mean,
of
yeah,
Valinor.
leaves fall.
East Crown is a pretty scary place. I've thought about going there, but I'm too scared. Apparently, it's cold enough to kill you in minutes.
Do not know. Oh yeah. I don't know if
The
you're
fall of the
here.
blood leaves is beautiful, though. I've seen it a couple of times since I was born. Not sure what other
I
purpose
did
East Crown serves.
a wee bit of research, mainly to look at who was a dateable character. And so far, the furred dragon, or at least what you've surmised is one, is not dateable. So I think we're gonna have to find a non-daily friend to romance. That means the bun is back on the table. Alright, you found the 2 books. Alright, let's go see what these guys are doing. Parallel Chronicle Demix. You're now Demix because I said your name wrong. I'm sorry. Oh no. What have I done? With Grizz. Oh, Demix converse with Grizz, mayor of Mazio. There was much to be done before the rebellion could settle down. But first on his agenda was procuring the city's underground tunnels. A place to operate in secrecy would be essential to their continued success.
Come on, Grizz, this must be possible. Even their honor guard barely monitors the place. When they do, they're oblivious to our existence. If we don't push them, they won't push back.
Why is that
Although,
auto?
one final push might be required. Either way, we need that deed as a rightful claim.
Jamek, for the last time, it's not so simple.
There's
If the
so many
Triumvirate knew
doggos
I was helping you,
or
they'd kill me.
canines.
I wouldn't be surprised if they damaged Mazeo as well.
Oh, come on, it's not that risky. We'll operate silently. They'll never know.
Everything has a paper trail, Damek. They keep track of every step I take. At the end of the day, I'm still their general.
Why is he
I
cross-eyed?
understand
Well,
that you
thinking.
want those tunnels, but it would be too risky. They'd find us out. I'm not gambling with my life, understand?
With them, it's a gamble, I'll give you that. But with me, I'll have you know it's a certainty. I don't think you know how much we need those tunnels.
Damek, is that a threat?
With a
Of
face
course
like
not. We're
that.
too close for that. Close enough that you won't have to find out. I'm sure we can come to some sort of deal.
Oh, whoa.
Mazeo is
The
rubbed
cross
off on
eyes are
you.
killing me.
I'd expect such tactics from pirates, not you. I have to say, you'd need something big to woo me.
Oh, whoa. I wonder if there's a double entendre there. Oh shit.
They dig for 20 years
That's
and
the
find
work.
nothing.
One problem with doing that. Demick walks up to the desk and places some papers down. He looked up at Grizz with a smile, who returned only shock.
Damek, I don't believe this. This is what I've been looking for.
I'll read his line. They dig for 20 years, find nothing. I use my forces, and we find it in days. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is it. Ah, I see.
You must tell me where it is.
Tell me.
A deed might sweeten the deal for me. Besides, you can report this finding to the Triumvirate. They'll be so ecstatic they won't notice anything else.
I could probably make something up on the fly with good old Flatbot. Just exclamation mark, oh whoa, or something. Live coding, let's do it. Let's see. I don't remember how to do this. Chat commands. If I can't figure it out in like a minute, I'm gonna give up and just move on. Alright, exclamation mark. Oh whoa. Oh wow. Let's see. Well, shit. I give up. I don't know how to phrase variables. Sometimes I want orders for my house. You'll just have to keep track for me then. I think we're at like 2.
It is a big deal.
Although I
and
don't
it
remember
might
how many
sate them,
there were in the first.
but they'd likely
in the
send
first,
forces here immediately.
bit.
You want me to put a target on
the
your
first
new
stream.
HQ?
Actually, their forces will be preoccupied. I have word that they're undertaking another mission. We'll have plenty of time to occupy and fortify.
I can't believe you found it, Tomek. If you want the deed, you must give me exclusive access. Nobody else can touch it. I have my plans, and that's final.
That feels like an old
Of course, I'd be more than happy to, but you might have to wait a bit longer.
God.
Tapping into it requires some special means.
Why is he blushing? Why are you blushing? This makes me think that they are talking about
But I promise you
not
won't
a
be waiting
treasure.
much longer. So please, if you would hand
Also
over
this
the deed,
expression too.
and once they arrive, it's all yours.
They arrive. Oh. What? Ovi, Chronicle 2. Ovi left the chambers of his masters, remaining in shock. The truth of things had been explained, and he was surprised. He knew it would take a while before he accepted these revelations.
Such a truth. And to think I never knew. This will change everything about my approach.
Master, you seem unwell. We leave tomorrow. You should get
Completely
some
safe.
rest. I know I'm not the one to give orders, but please.
No, it has nothing to do with that. It seems there is more to this attack than we knew. The Triumvirate just finished explaining our true objective.
Our true objective? Sovi, what is the meaning of this?
I don't think I'm able to tell you, Halen. They trusted me alone with this information. Perhaps you can visit them on your own time.
Typical. Teasing me with information and pulling rank. I want to prove myself, Sovi. I want to be at your side.
Aww.
Trust me, that would be wonderful. But this is different. It changes everything. It would be better to hear it directly from them.
All right, all right. I have to say, you seem quite distressed. I'll go talk to them, but take my advice and rest.
I'm afraid there's no time for that, Halen. I'm going to speak with the prisoner. He's coming too.
Oh.
Shane is coming with us? Sovi, that doesn't make any sense.
It seems a run-in with the rebels is likely. To that end, I've come up with a fitting punishment. When you're done with our masters, meet me back here.
Yes, of course. I'm ready to take action at a moment's notice. And now, something tells me we will be.
Okay, what do you guys have to say?
Hey,
Oh, yeah. Hey. What do you think about all this?
you mean everything that Milas told us?
Boop.
I'm freaking out. I can hardly believe it.
I feel fine.
but
Can't stop
the spirits would
floating
never lie to us, right?
Wait, no, that's different. Wait, is that the same song? I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. It is the same song. I found a flowers in my shoe and it is mine.
I can't believe the Triumvirate is our enemy. I know they had their reasons with Mazeo, but there's no reason to attack Valinor. Not at all.
They want their sword back. I think they don't want us to destroy them. Is that the Ori Discord? There's like one active member in there, and they keep pinging the fight roll, and I don't know why I still have it. I feel fun, the best I've felt in quite
Then why don't they
a
ask for it?
while.
There's no need to attack us like this. Makes
Is
me
it really
wonder if
this
there's
hard to
more
put
to
two and
Mazeo.
two together? Fight, fight, fight. Make on stream. Oh wait, I actually can get my thing working, can't I?
They said they took it over to fight piracy. But they're acting in their own interest.
I have a feeling
Burning
they would just
down our
pump stomp me.
village. They don't care about Alestia.
You're right, I'm sure there's more to it.
It only makes sense, right? It must have something to do with the spirits. Tyrants can't stand when something is in their way.
Alright, yeah, send a message. What are your thoughts on the Trillim?
I always thought they were good rulers.
Smash right to the wind.
Sometimes you have to make tough decisions. Mazeo shocked us all, but we've all moved on. There's also a line you're not meant to cross, though.
Burning in a village
Burning
down?
down an
Yeah.
innocent village is way past that. No goal could justify what they plan to do with Valinor.
I'm going to just focus on learning one fighting game at a time, I think. And I think that current one is Guilty Gear, even though I haven't touched it in like 2 weeks. What's in store?
Honestly, I don't know. I usually look to you when I think about that. But without spiritual energy, things will change. We're up in mountains, and the spirits keep us warm. Without them, Valinor
Oh.
would freeze and
Oh,
wilt
that's
away.
a whole different problem. Oh shit.
We'd have to migrate to Mazeo, like Milo said. One thing I know is that the Triumvirate is ruined. There's no way people will side with this attack. It's only a matter of time before word starts spreading.
I mean, I don't think there's any people for it to matter.
I think I need to concern myself with Alestia's future. The rebellion will probably be swarming with new recruits. We can fight back so no one else loses their home.
We'll unite them, take them down.
And it all starts with that special blade. I guess we should head to the Grand
We'll
Tree.
train you in the art of the A
No
button.
sense leaving without it, right?
Is short hopping useful in Rivals?
There's something I never thought I'd hear. Thousands of seers, and they never left Valinor. I guess we're
At
meant
least
to
for
play
Ori,
bigger
because
roles than we
it
thought.
seems like it's just so low that like I don't see like maybe rising aerials. I guess maybe that's my problem. Maybe I was trying to do falling aerials, and that doesn't work with short hop because it is literally.
But to answer your question,
Because I know it's useful in Smash.
no, I'm not ready.
Maybe yeah. I may have just been using it
Unfortunately,
wrong.
My opinion doesn't count for much. I'll have
I
to come to terms
also
with this
am
as we move on.
unfamiliar with like the actual like comboing system. Because you can just like fast fall out of a hit and like cancel this end lag or something and then continue comboing or something. You can talk to me if you want.
No, I wouldn't want to trouble you. You have enough going on. I'd just be a bother. Thanks for the offer, though. I'll keep it in mind.
you think about this
I'll
blob?
decide when I see it. You and Milas made it seem really incredible. But at the end of the day, it's just a sword. I doubt it'll be the turning point of this battle. Of course, I wouldn't mind being proven wrong.
Is moonwalking?
What else can you tell me about it?
That sounds like turbo teabagging, shimmying, and sticky running in Smash. I don't think that's a blade. It's more than a blade, it just looks like one.
Wait, that's really confusing. It looks like a blade, but serves another purpose? Tell me more. I'd like to know what makes it special.
I don't think that was the correct blade. I mean, it's like not verifiable. I'm guessing the blade that he had, because it's unique to only like a very powerful being can use it. I guess he could be very powerful, but into a very visual novel game stream. How must him be daunting, since it can be a lot of fast execution. I don't imagine it's faster than any second 2D fighter. Just because of second platform fighter. And the hit lag or hit stun in that game is eternity. So I guess on that note, it would be easier to learn. Hey. I'm not gonna tell her more because I don't know if that blade was the same.
Hey.
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 I love that. I hope
It's a little overwhelming, to be honest. I know I acted all cool, but I'm not really sure. I'm used to a simple life. Now that's all gone.
acted all cool. You did not act cool at all, my man. But I hope every like character that like travels with us or whatever, when you go to talk to them, they all just say, "Hey." I hope they all just say, "Hey."
As far as
so
I know,
good.
Valenorth is the last spiritual nation. If we lose our connection, what's going to happen? Will Alestia just be completely devoid of spirits?
Ah, that's why we were so
And
powerful.
not only that, but the Triumvirate being evil? As far as I know, they've always been benevolent. I know what we lost in Mazeo, but I've moved on. Anyway, I can process all of that later. I'm more worried about what's going to happen to us. Not Valenorth or Alestia. Just you, me, and Valessa.
When you're not cool with me, you can be open.
Thanks. That means a lot to me.
No.
But I wouldn't want to come off as whiny. Right now, we need to combine our strengths.
And we're just a bunch of fucking nerds.
The pity party seems appealing, but it'd be a waste. We can't afford to throw away the sacrifice of Mila's father.
Milas.
Nothing anymore, I'm afraid. Seems their goals have changed to conquest. With Mazeo, it made sense. But not with us. I thought they were our gods. Our protectors. I'm starting to doubt that they even cared. I mean, was this their goal all along? All 4 nations, under their thumb. If they just asked first, we could have cut a deal. But straight to violence? I don't get it. Yeah, and part of me wishes we
I
still
wish we could have
could.
resolved that
I
peacefully.
mean, the attack hasn't happened yet. But I know that's a stupid wish to have. You don't beg for your life against those odds. They're coming with everything they've got.
Oh well.
And from what you said, their power is incredible.
God, I don't know if my head is in the gutter or if some of these lines are just intentionally written.
Yeah, but not as good as us. Alestia would be better if the spirits were everywhere. Valenorth is perfect, and we were truly lucky to live here. But I guess those days are coming to an end. Without spiritual energy, we'll succumb to the cold. The winds from East Crown will take over Valenorth. I hope there's something we can do. Maybe after this,
Just build
we
a
should come back
giant
home.
windshield.
If we could just get that idol to shine again.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, definitely. We're a team for a reason. There's nothing we can't handle.
Aw.
I'm ready whenever you are. Let's grab that blade and head to Mazeo. Whatever you need, I'll be by your side.
Aw. Oh my god, that was just one line. Okay. You ready to leave?
I never thought I'd be leaving Valinor. In fact, I came to terms with that a long time ago. But here I am, leaving it behind for good. And I'm scared. Everything I've read about the outside world is scary. Piracy, deathly cold, and even deathly heat. We had it good here. A really nice middle ground. This is where it gets confusing for me, though. Mazeo was supposed to be safer because of the Triumvirate.
God damn it.
They occupied it, with force, but they've kept it peaceful.
So, just to let you know what just went through my head in a matter of seconds was, he was saying there are some places that are too hot and some places that are too cold. It's like, we're Goldilocks. And from Goldilocks, I went to the new Puss in Boots movie. And from the Puss in Boots movie, I went to a second green screen scene from the intro where Death is telling Puss to pick up his sword, but his sword was replaced with a bar of soap. All while he was saying this, just because of what he said about being in like this nice little Goldilocks zone. My brain immediately went to that. Like it didn't go to immediately, I guess, but it climbed the tree.
They could easily do the same thing to Valinor, but killing everyone? And burning it to the ground? They've crossed a line that no one ever should.
I have a good meme for that, actually. Oh. You think it'll be really that scary?
I'm sure it might be worse in my head, but with all the stuff I've read, it's still scary. I'm used to routine, so anything new is frightening. Mazeo is full of merchants, pirates, and mercenaries. Let's do our best not to make anyone mad. You never know how far their influence spreads.
They should be careful not to make us mad. I want to see what he says.
Whoa, really? You think we could take on pirates? That's a
I
bit
scared the bunch, I'm
far-fetched,
sorry.
if you ask me.
Alright. What is this meme? We're gonna pause it there. I missed the intro bit,
but I guess we make a pretty good
they
team.
keep Discord
If things
videos
get
really
bad, we
quiet.
play the status card.
But then I heard him say,
Don't
"Suck
want
dick."
Mazeo Valinor relations to suffer.
Perhaps I'm not lying.
Maybe Dominic will tell us more about that. I'm sure there's a lot to catch up on. This rebellion isn't exactly new.
But yeah, keeping Discord videos at like 50% minimum is just a way to exist on Discord, because fuck me, some videos are just... most videos are just absurdly loud.
I'm willing to bet there's more at play. But with Valinor, there's nothing secret at all. They're planning to raise our village, plain and simple. You mentioned that it might be for the blade?
No.
That excuse would never fly for an attack this large. At least for Mazeo, they said they were fighting piracy. I'm sure they want their blade back, but yeah, that desire and this attack are two separate things. I'm sure we'll find out the truth if we keep moving forward.
Ah, good. Though, to be fair, it's not like I was actually
That's
watching
what worries
it on
me about
stream,
all of this.
But...
They push, and we're expected to push back. What if we don't like fighting?
Also, I would assume you would have censored it.
That fight or die mentality is a terrible thing. It can drive good men to do horrible things. Please, don't let that happen to you, Seer.
Man, that always makes me sad when they can't read your name. Okay. That was such a good movie, though. I'm gonna hit you with that LA Noir doubt. Wait, what did she say again? Paradigm mentality is a terrible thing. It can drive good men to do horrible things. Please don't let it happen to you. I'm not changing anytime soon.
Good. I'm glad you're putting thought into it. Don't act recklessly in the face of victory. Victory is nothing if we can't share it together.
Aww. That was a cute thing to say. What should we do before we go?
I wouldn't mind taking one last look at the village. It's so weird, knowing that an attack is coming. This could be the last time we see our homes. How are we just supposed to accept that? I expect we'll have plenty of time to grieve, but is that something we should really have to do? We don't have to look around, but I'd appreciate it. If I find something I want to take with me, I'll grab it. I'd much rather leave Valinor behind with no regrets.
Alright. We won't leave until you're ready.
Thank you so much. I can't put my
I have
finger
a
on
feeling
it,
we're not
but
going
I
to be
know
able
I'm
to
not
leave
ready.
on his time.
One last
on his
walk through
time.
Valinor is
Or his schedule.
all I could ever ask for.
Alright, I think that's it. Alright. We found all the things, we talked to all the things, we watched all the things. Next. And I don't think there's anywhere else to go. I think everything else is done. The Great Tree. The Grand Tree towers above everything else in Valinor, and because of Valinor's altitude, it towers above the world. We take slow steps across a makeshift bridge, holding on to the sides. Valessa stops in her tracks, taking in the surroundings. A hint of confusion appears on her face as she breaks silence, stopping as well for Tame and I listen to her words.
All right, we really need to talk. Seer, what are your thoughts on all this? You've been totally silent since we left Milas.
Hey, Valessa.
I think we've
no
all
crying.
been silent.
Let him open up when he wants to.
I'm just curious, that's all. It's not like Milas treated us to afternoon tea. Everything is different. Besides, venting can help.
I feel lost. We're gonna be sad.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same.
Nice.
In just a couple hours, everything changed. They can't expect us to adapt that quickly.
Who is they, and who's expecting us to adapt? She turns back around, and we continue walking. I admire the scenery, but that attempt is short-lived. Forte, who had taken the lead, also stops in his tracks.
Actually, on the subject of venting, there's something I need to get off my chest. Or, I guess, there's something I need to ask you to.
Sure, what is it?
I know we don't like talking about this, and sometimes we pretend it never even happened. But we can't anymore. We're going to Mazeo. So I think now we need to face the facts. That's the last place our parents were... I mean, they were there when it happened.
Casualties of the occupation.
Now we have the chance to fight back against the Triumvirate. They were directly
confused.
responsible for what happened there. Are we doing this for Alestia? Or for ourselves?
I'm so confused. No, it's not. I don't understand why they have a relationship to this other city. Because theoretically they should have been here the whole time. And they said that they've been self-reliant this whole time. And that this city, village, whatever, has existed for thousands of years. So, why were their parents there and die? Are we outsiders to the village that they then took in? Maybe that's what it is.
You mean revenge? Fortim, I don't know how to answer that. All of our parents... That was so long ago.
I don't know if that makes me a bad person or not. But we can't just fight because Milas told us to. We each need a purpose, even if they're different.
I guess I want Alestia's freedom. Is that not reason enough to fight?
That's a goal, Valessa. not a purpose. Let me ask the seer, why do you fight? What weight will you carry with that blade?
I have no purpose. I was forced into this. Strive to protect my friends from danger. A dream that no one else will lose their home. I desire to avenge our parents. Rather not talk about this. I'm going with either sad or anime. I can hold you. Then I think that would be to protect my friends from danger. We're going off of what you're saying. Which I was leaning towards the
Good.
cheesy anime line.
Tap into that drive whenever you can. Don't let any swing of your blade lack purpose. A fight without purpose is a fight you'll never win.
No, that's just how you become a mindless murderer or something, I don't know.
I have more to say though, so hold on. Our parents went to Museo together, as a group of friends.
Why?
Now, we're doing the same.
Why?
And trust me, I'm worried.
Wait, are we just like the most unfortunate group of orphans? Because again, like the village was self-reliant, so why did a random group of adults just leave and then just so happen to get fucking destroyed? That's so unfortunate.
They got caught up in a fight, and we will too. But I don't want to die. I want to save Alestia. So promise me, we'll stay together. Right until the end.
Of course, until the end. Of course, it'll be a piece of cake. 3 dots. Oh, hey, the 3 dots is actually 3 dots. Let's not break its heart.
There we go. That's the spirit.
Positive thinking.
With that attitude, we'll never lose. Now let's get that blade and head to Museo.
I don't think that's how it's going to work, but...
Yeah, I'm about ready to get off this bridge. Not exactly the best place for a heart-to-heart. Though, honestly, I'm glad you opened up. And actually, I think I found my purpose. I want to fight to
Aw,
protect
she
my
shares my
closest
goals.
friends.
Or our goals.
So, about that promise, I'll be here, right until the end.
I nod, and they smile at one another. Shouldn't that be we? Because we all smile at each other. I guess they just smiled at each other. A few moments later, we continue our trek to the Grand Tree. This time, however, we reach our goal with no interruptions. As soon as we enter, we all spread out. Perhaps covering more ground would help us find it easier. However, much to our surprise, it's out in the open.
Wait, that's it?
It's wrapped up in a sack in front of the Grand Tree's altar. The general shape and size was easily discernible to me. It was the instrument of my death and Valenor's destruction. Okay,
There's
so
a
he is
letter
a powerful
attached to it.
being.
Let's see what it says.
Wait, hold on. I don't think we're supposed to touch it. We should probably leave this one to the seer.
I'm sure it's fine as long as it's covered up. Very well. Feel free to do
I
the honors.
wonder... Because it didn't ever have me pick pronouns. I'm wondering if they're using seer in place of a pronoun. Because I chose a male character and wore a dress. Probably not. They probably just recorded the one line. I'm overthinking it, I think. They both look at me, leaving me little choice in the matter. It's not like they had any choice in this either, however. Taking slow steps to the altar, I look down at the letter.
Well, what does it say?
I kneel down and pull off the letter, breaking some adhesive. It's from Milas, and it gives us a bit more information. None of us have really left Valinor, so guidance is helpful.
Instructions from Milas.
Milas, can you not read
Thank
so
you for
quietly?
following my directions. It's good to know we'll be able to work with each other on this grand endeavor. Hidden inside this package here is the blade we talked about earlier, otherwise known as the Blade of Exodus. I'm not sure why it's been given such a name, but it was the Triumvirate's choice. As soon as you take it, please ensure that it never leaves your sight. A guide, Zamira, will be waiting for you on Main Street. He'll guide you to Peregrino, where you'll meet up with Pro, a trusted ally and longtime rebel. From there, Pro will guide you to Mazeo. Pro might seem a bit incompetent at first, but he's simply been following my orders. Having him come here and get you, as Damek originally planned, was much too risky. Instead, I told him to pass time in the tavern until you bring the blade to him. I had Zamira meet him in the dead of night in Valenorth's outskirts to retrieve the blade and bring it to where you are now. This way, no villagers were aware, and there was no chance of complications arising. I'm sure Damek will understand this delay. One final thing. I authorize you with access to Solberg, now that you know its secret. Feel free to stop there on your journey.
I put the letter in my pocket and look at Fortame and Valessa. It seems that our next objective was clear, much better than before. If Milo simply threw us into the wild, we'd get lost immediately.
The Blade of Exodus. That's a bit of a weird name, isn't it? Do you think that's the person who made it?
No, I think it's just for making things leave.
Or maybe it's a title for whoever wields it. You know, something like Seer or Cirrus. What about it? Should we call you Exodus?
No. Do I berate the rabbit? Don't call me leaving. I'm not gonna berate the rabbit.
Yeah, especially if the triumvirate wants it back. Walking around as Exodus would put a huge target on us. That's not something we can afford if we want to blend in.
All right. Forget I suggested it. Let's get out of here before we waste too much time.
Depressed.
We're supposed to meet someone named Zamira, right?
I know them. They typically guard the town gate. No better person to carry out a secret mission in the night. I'm glad we'll have a guide. I was starting to worry we'd get lost.
Yeah, none of us have ever left Valenorth before. I'm sure it'll be great. We can even check out Solberg. Grab the blade, Seer. The villagers would never question you.
I nod. As a seer, they wouldn't care what I carried. Convenient. But I can understand if they saw an outsider with the blade. Milus's plan of using Zamira was definitely the best course of action. So... Oh, wait, what? No, I'm confused. As we venture to Malzio, however, some people might stare. But we're in a group, so I doubt they'd try anything. I pity the person who picked a fight with the Blade of Exodus. I carefully unwrap the package. The sight of the weapon causes me to tense up. I can almost feel the pain of last night's vision. Valessa and Fortame look down, seeing it for the first time. I exchange glances with them before my eyes return to the blade. I grip it for the first time, and that's when everything changes. With a blinding flash of white light, I fall back. Landing on the floor, I'm unable to see or move. It isn't much longer until I can't breathe either. I hear Valessa and Fortame call out to me. But as my senses are robbed, their shouts slowly fade away. A series of vision plays out before me, and I can do little but watch.
You mean this was all just a trap? No, I don't believe it. I'm not giving up.
To think all of that was stored in this. After we tell the people, everything will change.
We will aid you in this fight, but you are no longer a rebellion. Today, you become something.
You are no longer
more.
a rebellion. What? I'm not sure about that wording. I'll be your husband.
Wait! Think about what you are doing! Without us, there is no freedom!
Don't worry, nothing personal. Just playing with the hand I've been dealt.
That's Pro, isn't it? The shadowed man approaches me with a dagger in his hands. I can't fight back, I can just watch as he sinks it into my gut. Soon after, I'm paralyzed on the ground. I can hear him laughing. What happened to your paw? That doesn't look right. I gasped for air as I gripped the spot where he stabbed me. Valessa and Fortam let out a huge sigh of relief. Huge sighs of relief. In my other hand, I hold the blade of Exodus tightly. I throw it across the room as I slowly regain my breath. They help me rise to a sitting position, the concern on their faces clear. Thankfully, I'm able to relax before they decide to question me.
What happened?
He gave me visions.
Wait, how is that possible? The spirits are the ones who give visions. Could it have something to do with your energy?
Valessa, it doesn't matter.
That
For
doesn't
now,
matter.
we just need to make sure he's safe.
Right, sorry. Will you be okay?
Yeah,
Can
I'm
you
fine.
move? Good.
Oh, I just skipped her
Glad
dialogue.
to hear. Miles left a change of clothes for you. It was tucked underneath the blade, see?
He points to the package that held the blade. Resting in there is a set of battle-ready clothing. A holster or a scabbard. A sheath, you mean? Is built into the back. I guess it
Maybe
could be.
Miles knew that touching it was risky. If you wear this outfit, you can sheath the blade. It might be best to conceal it and minimize contact.
Wait, then why didn't he
He
tell us
probably
that?
didn't know.
Seems like a stupid thing to leave out.
Also, maybe he wanted us to touch it.
I guess you have a point. Oh, well, I'm glad that things are fine. You should go get changed, Seer.
She tilts her head to an alcove at the back of the grand tree. I guess it would provide sufficient privacy, so I grab the clothes. They turn their backs to me as an extra gesture of consideration. It looks like a mixture of Valessa and Fortame's outfit. I just realized she's wearing, feckin' handler garb from For You. Monster Hunter. Made of flexible material, it is clearly ready for a fight. The scabbard is adjustable. I could position it for my dominant hand. Left-handed. Why does this matter? Prepare the blade for right-handed access, as I'm right-handed. I told it to the right for easy access with my right hand. Also, if it's a long sword, you're not pulling that off your back, dumbass. Not that I expect to be touching the blade all too often. When the rest of the outfit is on, I walk back out in the open.
Whoa, that looks really good on you. A lot more fitting than that fancy dress.
That's everything we need then? I mean, aside from the blade?
I guess Fortame's not into dresses. We all look to where I threw it earlier. Before we left, I have to touch it again. I can sense the anxiety within my friends.
Look, whatever happens, we're here for you. I doubt it'll be as bad as last time. And you're fine.
You could have worded that a bit better, but there was truth to it. It was such a shock last time because I didn't expect it at all. But I was a seer of Valinor. You still are, kind of. I was meant to wield this blade. I slowly walk towards it, kneeling down. When I get there, whatever happened this time, I wouldn't let it control me. As I grab it, I remind myself that I am one with the spirits. White light overtakes me again, but that's all. I can still move, breathe, and sense my surroundings. Deep within me, I feel a connection, defying explanation. It's beautiful. I'd like to stay this way forever. Unfortunately, the feeling soon turns into something more. In a matter of seconds, the source of beauty is one of fright. I quickly sheath the blade to prevent any damage. Whatever that was, doing it for too long would hurt me. It seems that using this weapon would require some practice. See, you're all good.
Well, that looked fine to me.
Still
You didn't
hurt
end
me.
up on the floor, at least.
It still hurt me. I need to take it easy. Something about there just being like the crying. Putting him in a dress for our wedding.
Now that's what I like to hear.
We're team fan
Good
art
to know it was
wins.
just a first-time thing. Hopefully Dominic can give us more information.
I'm curious to learn more about it. Like, where it came from and who made it. Hopefully we figure that out along the way. So, should we get going? Or is there anything else we need to do?
We're supposed to meet Zamira on Main Street. But we should save that until we're ready to leave. One last look around Valinor couldn't hurt.
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier. Wouldn't want to leave anything behind.
A new feature, Party Banter, has been unlocked. Following this text box, a brief tutorial will display previous areas of Valinor have been updated. While you can talk to your party members, they can also talk amongst themselves. Icons on the top right show the combination of the characters showing which combination of characters is looking to talk. Click one of the two icons. Now leave Valinor to near the world map. Clicking the icon near exit will meet up with Zamira. The icon leading to the main street will function as normal. Oh, wait, who are you again? That was Pro, right? I'll make a new save, why not? Okay, let's see. Side story. Parallel Shane 1. Okay. Shane paces around his prison cell, feeling the walls. Looking at any structural weakness, anything he could use. He'd been in here for far too long, and the isolation was messing with him. I did not mean to quick save, but whatever.
Come on, Shane, there's gotta be something. You were supposed to break out of here ages ago. This mission is a bust. Dominic must be worried sick.
He knocked on the hard wall of his cell and found nothing. He had been here ever since Dominic assumed control of the rebellion. His objective was to get caught on purpose and scan their castle. But his intel would do little good if this was his final resting place.
Come on, you need to do this. Nobody else has come through here and lived. You're gonna be the first, Shane, I know it.
A voice sounds from the doors of the prison. Sylvie enters, laughing at what he just witnessed.
Ooh, looks like you're taking this worse than I thought. I need to talk with you, Shane, so come close.
And what makes you think I'll listen?
We haven't yet broken out the torture. But trust me, you're walking a fine line.
Whatever, just make it quick. I hate the sound of your voice. That, and I was enjoying my time alone.
You really don't care whether you live or die. Good. I like that in a potential soldier of mine.
Wait, what?
Name your weapon proficiencies.
You're the one who caught me, Sylvie. You should know full well what weapons I use.
I said proficiencies. Remember how easily I took you down?
Wrecked.
Fine. I'm good with a bow. I can play with daggers too, but not as well. Just give me some arrows and point to a target.
Shane felt a sense of hope rise within him. If Sylvie tried to recruit him, he could gain more intel. It wouldn't be hard to miss his shots on purpose. Unfortunately, his hopes were immediately destroyed.
Good. I'll have no problem finding you a bow. We're leaving on a mission, so follow me. You'll be seeing your allies sooner than you thought. Wait, are you smiling? Shane, I don't think you know what's happening. Taking you with me? This is your punishment.
Huh?
Yes. I'll line up a few of your allies. Then you'll show me how well you handle a bow. If you don't obey, I'll make you suffer. And if you do obey, well, your friends will think you've defected. They'll give up all hope of rescuing you. Then I can keep you here as long as I like. I know you may not fear death, Shane, which is why I'll give you something far worse. Now, come with me. There's much to discuss. And remember what will happen if you disobey. It's time to realize that you belong to me.
Alright.
Wow, it's so beautiful
Among
inside the
friends.
Grand Tree. Too bad they rarely let the scribe in training come here. I wish I had more time to spend in Valinor.
Actually, that's not a scribe in training role. It was more like a Fortum rule.
Uh, uh,
No
uh, uh,
offense.
What?
What's that supposed to mean?
You're not exactly a quiet person. This is a sacred place, and silence is essential.
Why didn't you tell me? I would have been quiet, I promise. Just like when I go to the library.
Hey, I don't make up the rules, but honestly, I wish I would have fought it. I didn't realize our time here would be so limited. I thought we'd be here until we were old and gray. But to think that Valinor would just be a small face? You're not the only one who has regrets, Fortin.
At least you were allowed inside. I was kept out because of my big mouth. Well, I guess I'm the only one to blame. I'll try to watch my mouth from now on.
I give you 10 minutes, tops.
Oof.
Hey!
Wrecked.
Instructions from Milas.
Ah, okay. Nice. So the game gave me the thing. Back to menu. Next. Alright. We're at the Great Tree. Oh, hello. Dovey Chronicle 3! Dovey stood in front of Triumvirate's castle, with Shane at his side. Everything was set in motion. Halen was late, likely learning the same truth from his masters. But as soon as he arrived, their plan of attack would commence. I clicked off the game.
We can sail to Mazeo in under a day. There's a ship waiting for us at the Balteus docks. As soon as Halen arrives, we'll be free to go.
Odd choice of words. I highly doubt I'll be free to go. Though I'm a little excited that Halen is coming along. He was much better than you, more threatening as well.
Shane, this isn't about being threatening. It's about who can put their foot down when they need to. Halen is all talk. Lots of promises, but no follow-through.
Right, of course. Thanks for the heads up. I'll remember that next time he tries interrogating me. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you didn't like him.
I doubt he's long for this world. A Grand Inquisitor needs to be more than talk. That, and I work much better when I'm alone.
Working alone, huh? I don't think that's a very good idea. What if you get into a bind? Who'd help you then?
I wouldn't
I
get
don't
into
get
a bind.
Shane. I'm more in the habit of putting them on others.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, we'll see how far that gets ya. So, what's the plan anyway? Attacking Valinor? You want the blade back, Halen made it pretty clear.
Now, why would I tell you that? Don't assume camaraderie between us.
Fine, just trying to get involved.
So you can write to your rebel friends, no doubt. Don't try anything, Shane. I'm watching you. Besides, Valinor is an insignificant part of our plan. When we're finished, Alestia will be forever changed.
Alright. Bottom Demix. The tunnels underneath Mazeo were quiet, almost eerily so. Grizz and Demix met in secret, not deep enough to run into trouble. Any further, though, and they'd come across paths with Triumvirate's honor guard.
I guess that settles it. The deed is yours. You have lots of work to do, Domek. What comes first?
Do you not have pants? Wait, hold on. I just realized he doesn't have, like, a waistband. That's what I thought. No, he just has really low pants. Okay. Even at the right time, Crafty. Pants are for square. How you doing?
Lots of dusting, I presume. Though there's something odd about these tunnels. The honor guard has no need to eat, sleep, or socialize. Being
Ah,
empty suits of
okay.
armor, they need none of that.
So you've been lurking
But
for a
go any
while, then,
deeper
have
and you'll see
you?
an entire hideout. Bedrooms, training rooms, a library, and more.
Maybe that's why they never found what we were after. They were too busy building some sort of utopia.
Why does he cross his eyes when he thinks? It's so goofy.
It'll be easy to fortify against attacks. They've practically done it for us already. I just wish I knew why. It's so peculiar.
I have a theory of my own, actually.
Okay.
And what is that?
You know how those things are created, yes? The Grand Inquisitor and that life-stealing sword. Well, he was at my side when we occupied Mazeo.
I see.
The members of the Honor Guard that wander these tunnels. I think they're the spirits of those we killed, Damek. Perhaps they just want to continue living. It's heartbreaking.
That's an understatement. But it explains the beds and living quarters. And if they retain some memory, they'd hate the Triumvirate.
Yeah, which is why they never completed their job. Or at the very least, intentionally threw their progress.
A theory with merit, I'll give you that much. But now we found what you're after, what happens? I think you should tell me what you really want with it.
You can think all you want, but it won't happen. Just know that I'm looking to make up for something. I can never undo the occupation. But I have an idea.
I just realized he's got a dead sheep on his shoulder. It has crossed out eyes. How did I
Very
just
well.
not notice that?
Whenever you're ready.
Why do you just keep blushing during your
As
conversations?
long as I have the deed, I'm satisfied. When the seer arrives, however,
Oh, you know my
I'd
name.
love to hear more.
Alright, that's the side stories. Infinite bottom energy. Question is, who can out-bottom who? Town square. Aha! More
So,
banter.
This might be the last time we see the town square. Is there anything we should do before we go?
I guess one last drink would be nice. The water from Valinor is always so pure. Want to share some with me, Valessa?
Sure. We can use the cups I left here earlier. I was just finishing my water run when we all met up.
So, what should we toast to?
Toast?
Wait,
Yeah, this is a big day, right? We should probably drink to something. Especially if it's the last time we might be here.
Oh, let's see.
cheers to the freaking weekend.
What about new beginnings? Or something like being with friends?
What about new beginnings with friends? I
Every-
think that's rather fitting for us.
Sounds good to me. To new beginnings with friends. May our bonds never break.
Now, are we going to, like, put our hands in a circle and then draw a smiley face on them? Because that's the kind of energy that that just gave me. Main Street. Alright, more banter.
Hey, Fortem. Remember those apples you used to love?
Used to.
Yeah, how could I forget? You can't get them anymore, though. The Triumvirate put a trading ban on Mazeo.
Remember that time I tricked you? I painted a bunch of rocks
Oh.
red and put them in a basket.
Oh.
I told you the trading ban was lifted. You were ecstatic.
Yeah, and that was really mean. My parents used to give them to me before, you know. That made me cry more than you'd think.
Aww.
Yeah, and I just wanted to apologize. This whole ordeal has me
I
thinking
thought he
about
was
the
gonna end up with a
past.
chipped
I
tooth
wish
or
I
something.
spent my time in Valinor a bit better.
Oh, well, I accept your apology. Better late than never, right?
Yeah, of
Epic
course.
prank, bro.
Once we get to Mazeo, I'll buy you some for real. An apology is lame. I'm gonna make up for what I did.
Eat an apple. Alright, I think that was the last place to go to. Yeah, we go into the exit. We have done all of the things here. We know what I'm going to save. Continue to explore. Continue the story. We head back to Main Street in search of Zamira. The blade of Exodus strapped to my back, and it's heavy. Glances from the town people show that they're aware of this artifact. However, being who I am, they raise no concerns to my face.
So, Valessa, do you see him anywhere? I don't know what he looks like, so this is on you.
Yeah, sorry, I'll point him out. I'm just not used to the villagers staring like this. A blade really makes us stand out, doesn't it?
Or maybe they're just admiring our good looks. Come on, Valessa, don't be so uptight.
I mean, I am also
Nobody
decked out
knows
in
what this blade
combat
can do.
gear, so
Let
they're
him stare.
probably extremely concerned. Like, when was the last time the seer donned a weapon and armor? That's probably why they're concerned. She gives Fortame no response, and as she scans the area. Like, exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's true, they could stare. And then we would have been able to hide it in the dress, too, right? Although, I guess when I think dress, I immediately think of, like, a whatchamacallit. Not quite a hoop dress, but something to that effect, where it's, like, poofy. Not like a sleek something or another. Yeah, there's, like, a specific phrase, but I can't think of what it is. It's true, they could stare, but they didn't know. To them, it was just a cool sword, something new. Valinor could be pretty stagnant and short of excitement.
Wait, I see him.
She points to a man standing near my house. He has his back against it and taps his foot on the ground. I guess he knew where I lived. Miles must have told him.
Hey, Zamira, how's your watch going?
Waiting for you, dummies. His ears perk up, and he starts to approach us. A huge smile on his face as he quickly closes the distance.
Hey, Valessa, long time no see. Can't complain, things are pretty much the same. This is the most excitement I've had in years.
Ooh. Huh. Your hand is very blue. And for some reason, it feels like his hand is a different style than the rest of him. Also, deer. There's something off-putting about that hand. He looks me up and down before staring at the blade. Something told me he wouldn't stay quiet like the villagers.
Whoa, that thing looks pretty cool. I've heard a few stories, but didn't get to see it. You'll have to tell me more as we head to Peregrino.
Peregrino?
Wait, hold on. I have a few questions to ask.
Oh, sure. Let's walk and talk. If I'm not mistaken, we're on a schedule.
He points towards the gate leading out of Valinor. Fortame speaks his mind as we start walking over.
So, you know what's coming, right? I just need to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do. But Miles has a plan to keep everyone safe, and at the very least, we have a few days to prepare.
I'm confused, though. He knew about this attack, and from what he said, he's known for a while. Why give up Valinor? Why not fortify and prepare?
Because we're lovers, not fighters.
Actually, I heard something about that. Damek, the leader of the rebels, had a vision. Apparently, that blade is more than just a weapon.
This is like blue. Like, I feel like the blue ears and the blue highlights would be fine. And maybe like white or gray paws instead? I think that would have been fine. I wonder if this is a self-insert, maybe. Because this is very much like true to furry. As opposed to everything else, which is just like kind of stylized as such. Well, I mean, furries are also like normal animal colors too, but There's definitely a lot of vibrantly colored ones, too.
Wait, other people can use it then?
No one else has tried, to be honest. But in his vision, he saw the triumvirate fall. The cost was clear. Valinor fell as well.
Who says they both need to happen? We could take them down without abandoning Valinor. Isn't it a little short-sighted to do something like that?
We don't really know for sure, Valessa, but it sure makes sense to replicate what he saw. That way, the rebellion's victory is guaranteed. Besides, Milas will evacuate everyone that's willing. Valinor can be resettled in the future. I know it.
Resettled?
I just worry about those who don't buy into the story.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Well, some people will be stubborn. We can't force them to leave. We just encourage it. Those that stay behind, well, there's nothing we can do.
I'm fine with this character design. It's just the hand. It's just too blue. I'm okay with, the highlights. Because, I think... Mr. Top Energy Rebellion guy... He had blue highlights, and those were fine. And the solid neon blue, though. Neon sky blue.
That's true. And it lines up with
out
the
too
vision.
much. It
The
clashes.
seer mentioned that
That's a
lots
good
of
word for
villagers
it.
perished.
Clashing.
Isn't there something we can do to help them
Put
cooperate?
your hand down.
We should focus on ourselves, Valessa. There's no point wasting time on something we can't change. Let's get away from these prying ears. I have some more news.
He smiles as we approach the exit of Valinor. News? In our current situation, that doesn't sound promising. But with curiosity piqued, we follow Zamira with haste. You are about to visit the Valinor region map. Story flow of the areas is the same as before, however, you now have access to optional side areas. These are indicated by a question mark near the map icon. Alright. Save. Oh, right. Hold on. I'm gonna redo a conversation real quick. Nah, never mind. Well, no, I want to see what she says. Because I didn't think that the blade that murdered me was the same one. But now that I know it is, I will crash the game. Yo, waiting for it to respond worked.
The fall of the...
Okay. Talk to you.
Hey.
Hey. Anything about this blade? Is this... Yeah, their lackey took out the entire village with it.
So, it still works as a standard weapon. But I'm curious about the other functions it has. We'd never do this for a run-of-the-mill sword.
Oh.
So, the more he killed, the more he had to serve him? And Ulrich's life powered a bunch of armored suits? That means their army could always outnumber Alestia. I'm starting to see why it might be a threat. But we won't be stealing life like that, right? We should keep it from them and limit their numbers.
I'd never use it like they did.
Good. I was starting to worry. Without that blade, their army's finite. They can't hide behind numbers like before.
Finite. You emphasized that wrong. Okay. That's all I wanted to see. I had a feeling she would have a freak out moment. I about saved over that. Alright, let's crash the game again. I feel fine, the best I've felt in quite a while. Save my soul, I swear I may never know. Wait, where is this question mark? You are lying. No. East Crown. Taking a small detour, we decide to check out East Crown. The cold is overwhelming and we huddle by the torchlight.
Oh my gosh. This is intense. I've heard the stories, but I thought they were exaggerating. We shouldn't stay here too long. I feel like I'm gonna die.
Oh, poor bud.
Fortum, don't be so dramatic. I'm sure we have time to examine the area. Just don't go in any further, alright?
Yeah, I guess so. Sorry.
You are like
Look, I can see my breath. How cool is that?
you are like better dressed for the environment as opposed to her, and she's fine.
I'll admit, that is pretty cool. Barely out of Valinor and already seeing new stuff. I'm guessing it has something to do with the cold?
Oh, that's cute.
It's insane.
Insane.
I can't believe how much the spirits help us. Without their power, this is what Valinor would look like. They keep us warm and let our village fight off the cold.
So, if the spirits were gone for like the last 20 years or whatever, 20 plus years, how has the village stayed warm? Is it because I was there? And if so, does me leaving now freeze over the village? Exactly. I feel like we just, instead of a fiery end, they're going to meet a frozen one now.
If Milas is right, then this is Valinor's future. It's only setting in now that I see it for myself. There must be something we can do to save our village.
I sure hope so.
A village isn't
Let's
just
take
the,
a quick look
the
around.
houses.
It'd be dangerous to stay here for too long.
Radiant maybe. Pure? I don't know. He inches closer to the torch to keep himself warm. Valessa and I don't seem too bothered and start looking around. Cold shoulder. Achievement, go away. There's something up there. There's a book somewhere, though. Valessa and Fortem are huddled beside the torch. Truth be told, I was cold as well. This place is intense. I finally understand why it's remained unmapped for so
Hey,
long.
move it, Valessa! You're hogging all the heat.
No way! Your outfit is much warmer than
now,
mine!
now she's struggling.
It doesn't matter! Do you want me to die or something?
Are you sure you want the answer to that question?
Oof.
What?
They continue arguing as I walk from the torch. We probably shouldn't spend too much time in East Crown. We have a long journey ahead. We can't succumb to the cold. If I just like left it here, would we just die? I take a few steps down the trail, but immediately turn back. It actually hurts to breathe. I didn't know nature could be so hostile. I shrug and turn back to my friends. We may never know East Crown's secrets. Where's this book at? It's like not much left to examine. The mountain goes up so high, it's amazing. It's a shame that nobody will ever reach the top. Maybe we aren't meant to find out East Crown's secrets. Flag's hanging there, but I'm not sure what it signifies. Perhaps somebody made it that far before giving up. Don't blame them. I'm already wanting to leave. Where's book? I noticed a book on the ground, slightly covered in snow. I'm not sure why it's there, but I decided to take a look. And the information about East Crown would help us.
Hey, are you sure you should be taking that?
I'm not.
It was covered in snow, Fortem. Whoever owned it probably forgot about it already. Besides, it might contain some useful information.
I mean, that is true, but they've also lived in, like, a constantly heated bubble their whole lives, so... While I think they are overreacting about dying to the cold, they're definitely not used to any temperature other than their comfy temperature. At least that's how I understand it, and am rationalizing it.
I guess you're right. But at least put it back when you're done with it. I don't want to get in trouble if the owner does come looking.
How would they know?
Alright, you have a deal. So, Seer, what does it say?
Mysterious journal. This is it. I've finally done it. For the last 10 years, I've been training my body to handle East Crown's cold climate.
Okay, maybe this is just a universal
At the start,
problem.
I could barely make it a few feet without having to stop. But now, I can almost last an entire day before I need to back out. I know that the answers are now within reach. What purpose does East Crown serve? How much of Alestia is uncharted? I'm planning one final
Are
journey
heavy
into these
coasts
icy
just not a
mountains,
thing that exists
and I
in this
know I'll
world?
find the truth. I'll see off my wife and child tomorrow and leave my journal by the entrance. Should I make it out of this alive, the following pages will be filled with wonders and revelations upon my return. We will finally understand. The rest of the pages are empty.
So is that my character's voice? Oh. The rest of the pages are empty. Okay. Right. We entered the outskirts of Valinor, taking deep breaths. The air is so fresh and pure, it's almost hard to explain. However, our enjoyment is hindered by Zamira's worried look.
Well, what's the news? Is everything okay, Zamira?
I guess everything is fine.
I don't know if we won, but we are underway.
It's just something I need to tell you in private. The villagers will have enough on their plates tonight.
So it's something that affects them too?
More than that, actually. Look, I'll be completely honest with you. I'm sure Valinor will be resettled in the future.
I'm glad you think so, Zamira. I was starting to worry about everything. It seems like Milas has everything under control.
Yeah, about that, this is where it gets a little awkward. You see, he didn't really tell you everything.
Of course he didn't. Why would he?
What? Really?
This is starting to get pretty overwhelming. He seemed pretty open. What was he hiding? I don't think I can handle another revelation.
Angry
It was
bun.
probably too embarrassing for him to admit, but he doesn't really want to lead Valinor anymore. He told me when he gets to Mazeo, he's staying for good.
You know, Zamira is fine being on the right side. His distracting hand isn't in sight.
That can't be true.
He was doing such a good job.
He was, but I understand where he's coming from. It's possible to be good at something you don't enjoy. He deserves a fresh start, a pursuit of his own choosing.
I guess so. Then what about resettling Valinor? Who'd be in charge when that happens?
People would migrate back too slowly. We'd be in no shape to hold a formal election. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but that means...
Bingo.
The seer.
Oh.
Does somebody want to fill me in?
If there's no elder, the seer takes over?
Matters of Valinor's future. With no elder, they're under the jurisdiction of the seer. Believe it or not, he gets to choose the next leader.
A contingency plan for special cases like this. The only condition is that you can't choose yourself.
Oh, so I can't choose...
Your duty and role in
I
Valinor
see.
is already well established. Take your time, evaluate the candidates, and think about it. Again, it's not really bad news. It's just another change.
There's really nothing to think about, though. Choose me, then I won't be the third wheel anymore. We can be a trio, and work together all the time.
Hey now, let's not jump to conclusions. I think I'd be a fine candidate for elder. Fortum was trained to fill the gap I'd leave.
Oh my. I should have expected this.
Huh.
Sorry to put you in an awkward situation.
I'm kind of surprised both of them volunteered to be elder.
It's only awkward if Valessa makes it awkward.
Whatever.
Whatever. They cross their arms and turn away from each other, fighting over an opening that was only revealed seconds ago. I could understand their passion, but we needed unity right now.
Look! This might not be relevant for years to come. There's no need to argue about this. Stay focused. We have a really important job on our hands, you know?
They don't respond and simply retain their pose. Their passion for Valinor is admirable, but intrusive. We had a clear goal, and now things were getting muddied.
None of you know where Peregrino is, right? If I start walking without you, you'll get lost. I'll give you a few minutes, but I'm on a schedule.
The threat makes them both turn back around.
Good. That's what I thought. Take a few moments to talk amongst yourselves. But when you're ready to go, we need to move as fast as we can.
All right.
Yeah, fair enough.
Zamira rests against the nearby tree. This really does feel like it might be one of the creators' OC. Just because this person keeps leaning against things. Because that's like the cool guy thing to do. Because they're leaning against my house. I was leaning against a tree. But I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it. And let out a loud sigh. It was just relaying information. The fallout wasn't his to deal with. We have a few minutes to spare. I should make the most of it. Oh, more banter. Oh, there's no books to find. Okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And grab some more water. Returned. Alright. Cutscene. Bottom energy, let's go! Let's go, Demix. Demix returned to the surface with Grizz at his side. The older man took a deep breath, enjoying the fresh air. It was a little stuffy down there, but they could make do.
Digging tunnels underneath their own church. I guess it makes sense. Nobody really comes here. Museo isn't exactly known for its pious people.
Easy to get away with. Though I have to say, it's
Every
pretty
time
ironic. The
he's
rebellion
thinking, it just
settling in the
me
triumvirate's
up.
church.
Why is he cross-eyed?
A bit poetic, isn't it? Maybe after this we can settle in their castle.
One step at a time. Let's not get carried away.
Hmm.
I'll write them and let them know what we found. After all these years, I'm not sure how to feel.
Relieved, with a side of being terrified. At least that's how I feel about all of this. finding another spirit idol. This changes everything.
Aw.
We always assumed that was the idol, at the altar. It was always so dim. We just thought that it was dying, but it was receiving power from something deep underground.
Well, I guess we know what the it
It's
is.
nice to know that the theories were correct. The search was starting to feel like a lost cause.
The only lost cause is their pursuit of conquest. Let them know what you found. Let's get things started.
What are you planning, Damek?
I'll let you know tomorrow if everything goes well. I have to prepare for the arrival of our special guest, but trust me, I've put a lot of thought into this plan.
You've earned my trust.
Grizz nods before leaving the church. Demix, now alone, approaches the altar. He smiles as he places his hand upon it.
It won't be long until the Triumvirate sends their forces. If I'm lucky, they might even come to see it for themselves.
His smile turns into more of a sinister smirk.
Right now, they're busy with Valinor.
He looks
But
pissed,
by the time
not
they reroute,
smirking.
my army will be in place. When they set
Really
foot
hard.
underground, we'll kill them all.
Okay. Alright. What were you doing, Halen? Halen finally caught up with his master. He was slightly out of breath, having run for a great distance, but his annoyance outweighed anything. He was lied to.
Sophie, explain yourself immediately. You told me to wait in the castle atrium. If I did that, you would have left without me.
Haha.
Oh, did I really say that? I'm
Dick.
sorry. I must have gotten carried away with our prisoner. How did your meeting with the Triumvirate go, Halen?
They refused to tell me these secrets. Something about my loyalty not being strong enough.
Oof.
Well, look at it this way, Halen. The mission we're going on is very important. No better way to prove your loyalty to the cause.
I guess you're right. But I don't like being left in the dark.
Then you'll get along great with Shane. He's been pestering me with questions all day.
I don't fraternize with prisoners.
Whatever you say.
Sylvie walks away, laughing in a mocking fashion. Halen and the prisoner slowly follow suit.
You know, we have a long boat ride ahead of us. Might not be a bad time to start fraternizing.
Did I stutter, Shane? Leave me be.
Oh, you think you're better than me, right? Well, here's some food for thought, apprentice. You're more a prisoner to the Triumvirate than I am.
What did you just say?
Neither of us will know true freedom. We're nothing but a means to an end. They'll kill you the moment you disobey. We have no choice but to follow orders. The difference is, you do this willingly. I have no idea why. You seem smart to me.
Is he going to talk him to our side or whatever? Hey. So you want to be the next elder?
Yeah, of course I do. If I become elder, then Fortum can take over as your scribe. It seems like the logical course of action, doesn't it? We need to figure out how to save Valinor. After the attack, we can rebuild from the ashes. But I also want to solve our problem with the spirits. Once we restore our connection, we'll be fine. After that, it's just a matter of what we do with our nation. I'm not really a fan of what Milos and his father did.
What would you do differently?
Well, they sacrificed Valinor's independence. That was the one thing that set us apart, made us unique. If we lose that, we lose Valinor's very soul.
But they kind of did that because I took all the spirit energy.
I want to keep our line of seers going. We can't lose our heritage. I'd ensure that we remain nonpartisan, just like always. Look at all the trouble these alliances have
But,
given
like,
us.
I feel like she's, like, underthinking this, right? Like, the spirit's just straight up like, here you go, here's a super-powered baby. We're out. Like, I don't think I had any control over that. But I guess she's saying that, like, she would restore that and, like, get back on their good side or whatever. Lessa. I'm not sure which is better, honestly. Need to unite so we can be strong. More trouble than it's worth. I'll go in the middle.
There's really no right or wrong answer. It's just a matter of
I'll fence
preference. It could go either way. As long as the leader is capable, Valinor will be fine. But you should choose either me or Fortin. We're both trained and intimately familiar with Valinor. We studied with Milos all the time. We can do this. Trust me.
What if I just chose somebody completely not? How would you restore our connection?
I don't know, but if it's possible, I'll do it. I'll look for reading material when we get to Mazeo. Or if we ever find ourselves in Baltus, there's the Grand Library. Remember, that power still exists within you. After we defeat the Triumvirate, it won't just vanish. There must be a way to put it back into the Spirit Idol.
Well, what if it's not possible?
Nothing is impossible, you know. It's just something people say when they don't want to try. If we put all of our effort into it, we can save Valinor. What? Why would you say
What did I
something
just ask?
like that? It's not like you to give up so easily. We'll come back from this stronger than ever.
Let's see. Oh, yes. What did I say?
In fact, I'm so certain I'm changing the subject. I refuse to talk about such negative things.
Are you sure Valinor isn't a lost cause? Okay. I wouldn't have. I didn't read it.
Maybe a couple of hours.
I just clicked it
if we
because I
walk
hadn't clicked it
fast.
yet.
It's a longer trek from there to Mazeo, though. I've never been, but I've seen maps and read books. It's not exactly my kind of place. I've never had the urge to drink ale or wine, let alone the urge to walk such a long distance.
Yeah, I don't want to drink either.
It's probably for the best. There's too much we need to take care of. Maybe we'll feel different when this is all over.
About that argument with Fortame.
What about it?
Will things be okay between you two?
They usually are. It's not like an argument between us is anything new. With a few minutes to cool off, everything will be fine.
Good.
Besides, we all know what the right choice is. I'm the most qualified person in Valinor to replace Milos. Fortim is trained to replace me. It just seems natural.
You think you're a better fit for Elder?
Oh, of course I am. I work with Milos almost every day. I know exactly what he does. In a way, he trained me. Just like his father trained him. If you chose Fortim, there'd be a learning curve. That, and I don't think he's fully qualified. Make sure not to tell him that. He'll freak out.
I mean, between the two of them, she definitely seems a lot like... She definitely seems like a way better candidate.
His contact with Milos was minimal compared to mine. If he took over, he'd need to be trained from the ground up. But if Milos is retiring, I don't think he'd be willing to teach. And with no teacher, you need to find somebody already trained. I have a pretty good idea of what Milos does. I saw him every day. So I'm trained and ready to lead. Seems like an easy choice, right?
Can I order an election to be held?
I'm not sure about that, actually. It would be counterproductive, though. You already have 2 perfect candidates.
Aww.
We're high.
I like
on
that she's like
Valinor's ladder.
discounting him,
Not
but also
many
not
people
discounting him.
I also think that the villagers would support both of us. It seems like a natural succession of power to me.
What do you think about the blade? The Why do you think the blade gave me visions?
I've been thinking about that, actually. Not just you, but Dominic as well. Only a seer of Valinor can have visions. Is there more to Dominic than we know? Or is there more to the blade than we know? I'd say it's the energy inside of you, but Dominic doesn't have that. Or does he? Basically, none of this makes any sense to me. We're watching the laws of Alestia be remade before us. So, if you're asking me for an answer, I really don't know. It's something we have to learn as we venture forward. But I have a feeling that this blade changes everything.
And it changes nothing. Alright, what do you have to say, Fortim?
Hey.
Hey. What would you do?
Wait, is this like a job interview or something? I've never been very good at selling myself. First and foremost, though,
Mood.
I'd reconnect with the spirits.
Well,
That way, Valinor wouldn't freeze over. A lot of people forget it's the spirits that keep us warm.
yeah, but the spirits
After
have been
that,
gone for...
I guess I'd focus on what to do with the people.
Is this just a plot hole? Or is there an explanation to this? Because if the spirits turned off when they gave all of their power to me, then keeping everything warm should not be happening. Unless it really was me. How would you do it?
Actually, I'm not too sure about that. But we're about to go on a huge journey. I'll make sure to pay attention along the way. If the connection can be taken away, it can be given back. There's nothing that says this is a one-way street. So take care of that power until we can put it back.
Maybe it's a lost cause.
What? No way! You might feel that way, but I don't. If I were the Elder, I'd do anything to save Valinor.
I keep scaring him. What do you mean by do with the people?
Well, we have an important choice to make. We can follow after Milas and drop our independence, or we can distance ourselves from the other nations. Like always. Right now, I think unity is important. If I were the Elder, I'd band our world together. We could live in harmony and trade freely.
You just want apples.
I know I hate the trade ban they put on Mazeo, but this isn't personal. Lifting those bans and uniting the nations would create peace. Isn't that our goal at the end of this year?
Unity is pretty good. I'm not sure which one.
That's fine, but you will have to make a choice. Remember, circumstances dictate that you're in charge. Just something to think about as we head to Peregrino.
Joke's on you. If I die during this, then what happens? You know this would interfere with your hobbies, right?
You mean like cleaning and climbing trees? I guess you're right. But I like to do more than that. I always say that making people smile is my favorite.
Aww.
So if my work could keep an entire village happy? Well, I couldn't think of a better job if I tried. I want to be more than just a scribe in training.
But scribe in training is very important.
I know. But the Elder is way more important. Right now, I'm stuck here unless something happens to Valessa. I'd rather rise through the ranks another way, you know? You two make a good duo. I'm just unnecessary at this point.
Aww.
But if I became the Elder, we could all work as a team. It'd be like we're a triumvirate of our own.
Are you sure you're a better fit than Valessa?
I'm positive. She's doing a fine job as your scribe. Having me as the Elder would utilize my full potential. I don't mean to brag, but I spend a lot of time with Milas. As a scribe in training, I'm just held back. I don't think I'll ever need to take Valessa's position, so why not let me take another position instead? Look, all I ask is that you think about it, alright? At the end of the day, we're the two best candidates. There's no election here. The choice will rest upon you.
The only thing, the problem here, Fortim, is you've not given me a reason not to choose Valessa. Other than, like, she's a good scribe. And you're now... But wait, so one of them is lying, right? Because she said Milas. Fortim's never with Milas. And he's saying that he's with Milas all the time. If it means isn't boy wife. If it means isn't boy wife. Wait. Did you say that backwards? Because if he's the Elder, isn't. I'm very tired. If it means instant boy wife. Oh, okay, okay, that makes sense. But I feel like it would be the opposite of it. Because then he'd be too busy to have a waifu. Or husbando. And, you know, probably because of, like, the rules of the place, you probably can't have, like, the seer and, like, the elder commingling or something. What do you think about Zamara?
He's pretty
Zamira?
cool, and I dig the antlers. I can't believe I've never spent more time with him. But it makes sense, if he's always guarding the gate. Valessa seems to know more about him, actually. I guess he'll be coming with us to Museo? Milas is going to evacuate everybody soon.
Seems like a cool guy.
Yeah, totally. I hope he sticks with us for a while. I mean, he's a guard, so he could easily fight with us.
He didn't get added to the party, my man. I don't think he's important enough.
Right now, we need all the help we can get. But even if he doesn't join, I'm
no.
grateful for his help. There's no way we'd make
But
it
you
to
can't,
Perarino
because
on
if
our
you're
own.
the seer, you can't rule the village. How do you feel now that we've left Valinor?
Well, the surroundings are still pretty familiar. I expect it'll hit me harder once we get to Museo. I know it'll be different, but is that good or bad? There's one thing that worries me about all of this, though. We may very well run into the man that killed our parents. Whether it's this Sovi guy or the General of Museo. It could even be one of those empty suits of armor, actually.
No, so we don't know.
The thing is, I won't know what to do when I see them.
But then how would you even know you saw them?
Or be overtaken with rage.
Well, it sounds like you don't know who killed them, so who would you freak out about?
Don't let me do anything stupid, alright? I'm counting on you to help keep me in line.
Sure thing, you can count on me.
Thanks, Seer. I know I can always count on you.
Aww.
It's gonna be scary, but we'll face it together.
I think that's all you have to say. Alright. No things here. Alright, let's see.
Hey, Zamira, what's work like?
It's a lot less exciting than you'd think. They advertise it as a position of power, busting smugglers and protecting Valinor.
Fun.
And it's not like that.
No, not at all. I spend most of my days standing around. Crime in Valinor is almost non-existent.
Because the spirits have blessed us, right?
I guess that's one popular theory. But to be honest, I don't buy it. Spirits can't change our nature.
Nature?
Deep down inside, we're all evil.
Whoa, what?
Some of us just manage it better than others. We all have our impulses. It's about controlling them.
What an odd outlook.
For Tim Femboy?
Hey,
Fanboy
don't
in the
deny your
chat.
impulses, Valessa. If you had to steal to get by, you do it. Valinor is just special. Resources are everywhere. Museo has been almost completely deforested. You can't just go into the forest and find food. There's not enough natural running water either.
See, I didn't know that.
I don't blame you. Everyone in Valinor is happy. Nobody is scraping by, you know? Imagine if food was scarce. There'd be a lot more people breaking the law. Stealing it, hurting others for it, you name it.
How do you know about all of this?
I've been to Museo a couple of times. Trust me, the guards there have it much harder. They don't even know if they'll survive their shifts.
Sheesh.
Oh. Wow.
Wow.
So when I say the post here in Valinor is boring, I'm not really complaining, to be honest. I'd much prefer boring work to, dying.
All right.
Hey, Zamira, about those antlers.
What about them?
I use them as a handle.
You ever, hit them on a doorway? I mean, you can't be fully aware of them all the time. Yo, have you ever accidentally hit someone else with them?
I'm about to.
Whoa, okay, backing off. I was just curious. I've always wondered. How do you put a shirt on each morning?
What do you mean?
Well, you can't really slip clothes over your head. Those things would tear through any fabric.
I don't really have anything that slips over my head. I only wear things I can put my arms inside of first. Like button-ups or vests.
Right. I guess that makes sense. Sorry for annoying you. Please don't hit me.
Of course. I'll do my best for Tem, but I'm not responsible for any accidents.
Something horn, something handles. Or handlebars. Alright. Save. Just don't think too much about it. Solberg. As soon as we enter Solberg, we're all in shock. It's such a beautiful sight, unlike anything in Valinor. From here, it's very obvious that we're up in the mountains. In fact, Valinor's lush forests are prone to hide.
Whoa.
Why are you scared?
This is amazing. I can't believe something like this was so close.
Oh, whoa.
And look at the spirit idol! That's so cool! Even if it's not lit up, it's still beautiful.
Why are they scared?
Mila said it went dark when the seer was born. I can't believe all that energy is inside of you.
They both look at me as if they don't understand. But I guess that's fine. We don't really know what's happening. I must have been given this power for a purpose. But what purpose?
Hey! Race you to the idol, Valessa!
He starts running like his life depends on it. Quite the head start, if you ask me.
Hey, that's not fair!
She quickly follows after him, closing the distance. It was nice to see their spirits lifted like this. I might as well make the most of my time here. Where it all began. Achievement get. There are no books, there's just banter.
What? No fair! How did you beat me?
Even with a head start, you're no match for me. Time to throw in the towel. Stick to climbing trees.
Skills.
Oh? So you want to have a climbing race?
I'll pass, thanks.
Wait,
how did a rabbit
why?
lose? What the fuck?
A smart person doesn't pick a battle they know they'll lose. I'm surprised you challenged me, Fortum. You know how fast I am.
Are you calling me stupid?
Frick.
No, I'd never do that. Anyway, isn't the spirit idol beautiful?
I feel like
That's
you
putting
called
it
him
lightly.
stupid in both
it's
of
one
their
of the coolest
skits.
things I've ever seen. When it's lit up, it must be incredible.
Fun.
Yeah, I'd pay almost any price to see that. But don't worry, Fortum. I'm sure there's something we can do. If we all work together, we can make that idol shine again.
Alright, that's it for this. Goodbye, Solberg. Hello, Pergorino. Pierogi. After a lengthy trek through the forest, we arrive at Peregrino. The scent of ale and aged wood of the tavern permeate the air. Zamira lets out a sigh of relief, having finally achieved his goal.
Well, looks like we're finally here.
Then you must
It
fight.
wasn't that bad, was it?
Even though the ruler forbid it. If fighting will not result in a victory, then you must not fight. Even at the ruler's bidding. So, I guess I didn't realize that the soldier was paraphrasing Sun Tzu. Because that's what I immediately thought of when I read the first line. But you know that, like, it actually makes sense that he would paraphrase it wrong. Or I guess he's just paraphrasing it, he's not quoting it. If victory is the result in... If fighting is the result in victory, then you must fight! Okay.
Not as bad as I thought it'd be.
My legs are a little sore, but I'll manage. I know we're far from home, but this still feels like
The in
Valinor.
Big Forest.
I guess
Shit, I'm
Just
sorry.
wait until you see the outlook, Valessa.
Or from Valinor. I guess maybe I expected something a little different.
The outlook?
The outlook?
You can almost see the entirety of Alestia. As soon as there's no trees in the way, you'll be amazed. It's easy to forget we're on top of the highest mountains.
So, we're not surrounded by trees the entire way to Mazeo?
Absolutely not. Even aside from the deforesting, trees are scarce. It makes for a beautiful view. I'm sure you'll love it.
The tone of his voice implied that he wouldn't be going with us. If he's seen it before, then I doubt that staying behind was a big deal. Seen it before, then I doubt staying behind was a big deal. But for some reason, Fortune and Valessa seem a bit upset about hearing this.
Right. I guess you're in your own schedule now. You only had to bring us to Peregrino.
I'm not about to ditch you, though. Now head inside. Feel free to follow along. It won't be too hard to find Pro. Trust me.
He leaves our side and starts walking into the tavern. We exchange glances, gleaming. They're seeming a little hesitant. How did I get gleaming?
I guess this is it. As soon as we meet with Pro, we're off to Mazeo.
Wait, did you say Pro?
We're all startled by the sudden intrusion, but to me, this voice is immediately recognizable. Ulrich?
What? Who's there?
He lets out a soft laugh as he approaches us. After looking me up and down, a wide smile appears on his face. I forgot, we haven't actually met. It's the blade on my back he notices.
Well, what do you know? It's you. Kind of makes my job a whole lot easier.
Time to die. If fighting is sure to result in vigor, then you must fight. Sun Tzu said that. I'd say he knows a little bit more about fighting than you do, pal. He invented it. Then he perfected it so no living man could best him in the Ring of Honor. Then he used his fight money to buy 2 of every animal on Earth and turn them into a single book. I completely forgot he said all of that. Oh man. Bottom one pops up on the first page of Google. So when you look up the Sun Tzu quote, you get the quote, and then you get the soldier's paraphrase of it.
Wait, you know us?
Just the seer.
Then you must be...
Ulrich! From the vision!
Excuse me?
Excuse me.
Yeah! You were in the vision that the seer had last night.
Huh. Haven't even met, and I'm already in your dreams. That has to be
You
some
also
kind of
have
new
low
personal record.
pants. Why are they wearing their pants on their... like... Why are they leaving half their ass hanging out? He cracks another smile. Is that an attempt at flirtation? If it was, it wouldn't go anywhere. Fortame promptly interrupts.
He said you died, Ulrich. Something about a man named Sovi?
Oh, he's gonna get triggered. So, the lines look good, and from that day forward, any time a bunch of animals get together in a place called a zoo. Oh, this is a farm. Oh, you just... I'm pretty sure the solution to that is just put hole in pant. His ears perk up as he hears the name Sovi, but it seems to find something comedic about Fortame's words. Clapping his hands together simply once, he smirks at the 3 of us.
You sure are good at first impressions, little one.
I'm not little!
It seems that nobody jumps to Fortame's defense.
Is he telling the truth, seer?
Yeah, it's all true.
How exciting. You'll have to tell me more once we grab Pro. After that, we're going to evacuate Valinor.
Wait. After we grab oh, wait. So is he going to help? It seems he's able to piece things together. The vision of his death and Sovi was Valinor's destruction. He wastes no time in suggesting our immediate course of action.
Actually, Miles is taking care of that.
Ah, I see,
The village is gathering for a celebration tonight. The perfect time to group up and escape, right?
Really? I'm starting to wonder why I'm even here. Either way, Pro and I will take you to Domek. I'm glad to hear this vision of yours won't come to pass.
Wait. Hold on. Surely people saw me leave? And the reason we were going to celebrate was because becoming the official seer. But if I'm not there, then the celebration is not going to, happen. That would be inherently obvious. Whatever. That much is true. He avoided Valanorth entirely. Too bad the attack on Valanorth wasn't something we could avoid.
Shall we get things started? Unless you want to talk more, I'm up for that too.
I can't tell if he's being genuine or sarcastic. It's hard to get a read on this man, and that's odd. His resolve in last night's vision, his demeanor was clear. I feel like even though we barely talked, we're on the same page. He seems to know why we're here, where we're going, and what we need to do. That makes things a bit easier. Endless planning would be tedious.
Whenever you're ready, Seer. Seems like we have a lot ahead of us.
We all look at each other before nodding. It seems like everyone else is following my lead. I could probe Ulrich for information, or head right inside. Ulrich has joined the party. The Rebel Brawn. Oh, we have multiple places to go. Let's talk to Ulrich.
Hey.
Hey. Yes! Alright, we're 3 for 3 on the hey. Well, I mean, we already had the one vision, right? And now it's already not true. Because, well, I mean, I guess it could still come true in a different way, right? Like, Sylvie could still, like, murder everyone. Just in a different location. There's only been the one vision, which was the prologue, where everything was burning and everyone was dead, and then we died. And then there was, like, the little, like, flashing tidbits, but that didn't really hint to a whole lot. Just a bunch of recognizable voices. Like, I think somebody was betraying... Where were you in that vision? That vision was in Valanorth, in the starting town, which we are no longer in. Yes, for sure. Because there's like talks of going to the office or going to the Great Tree. Both are places that we visited prior to leaving. So, you recognize the blade?
Absolutely. I'd recognize that thing anywhere. I'm surprised you have it out in the open like that. We went through such great lengths to hide it.
Sure. Maybe we go back, but at the same time the intent was different too. Because Ulrich still needed to find the blade and such. It didn't seem like I had it with me at the time. What can you tell me about it?
About the Blade of Exodus? It's extraordinary. I have no idea where it came from or the full range of its power. It can repurpose life into an energy that serves the wielder. That gear at the base can spin, which should be impossible. It's almost like some parts of the blade exist in a different world. I'm starting to think that's the case. Where else would it store all that power?
Boop. What are your thoughts on the weapon?
It's practically cheating. Whoever wields it has infinite power. I don't think of the triumvirate as gods. They were just abusing this weapon. Now that they don't have it, taking them down should be child's play.
How does it accomplish such a thing?
I have no idea, and I don't think we'll ever find out. It must tap into a person's spirit before it enters the spirit realm. That's the only non-physical part of us that could be considered energy.
How long has the triumvirate had it?
I'm assuming they've always had it. It's how they came to power. Some people seem to think they used the blade to create our entire world. Not many people know about it, though, and they see the triumvirate as gods. And they really aren't. They're just men who came upon a greater power. And now we have that greater power. We can rule Alestia far better than them. I think we should destroy that blade after we win. It's a tool of pure corruption.
Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. How did the rebellion manage to seize it?
It wasn't too long ago, maybe half a year. The rebellion planned an attack. Our previous leader planned it down to even the smallest detail. Steal the blade, map out their castle, and pave way for our future liberation. I'll be honest, he knew he was going to die. He used his final moments to get the blade. Some people think it's a little fishy. How could we win so easily? Did they let us win? I don't think it's that deep. They just didn't expect our leader to effectively commit suicide.
That sounds impressive. Where were you on that mission? You'll have liked to meet the old leader. I won't let him down. Do you think Demix will do a good job as his replacement? Where were you?
I was. Change the subject.
I'd like to meet him. I won't let him down.
I'm sure you won't. I don't think any of us will. The scope of his planning went farther than I could have imagined. Being the Elder of Valinor, he planned every aspect of your involvement. I guess breaking Valinor's non-partisan stance made perfect sense to him. Every little piece was in place. The liberation of Alestia was finally attainable. I just hope that you're everything you thought you'd be. Wielding that blade isn't easy.
Do you think Demix will do a good job?
He already is, and I'm happy to serve him. Things are going swimmingly. It helps that he was one of the founding members of the rebellion, too. At that point, though, he was too young to lead. Things are different now. He's done a fine job of honoring our leader's legacy and guiding us to victory. He had to make a few hard decisions, but I trust his judgment without question. Everything is going according to plan. Our final assault is all we need.
I just realized the sword that is on my back is the cursor. I think I came to that realization at some point previously, but I just didn't think anything of it.
Wait, he used the Blade of Exodus on me? That's impossible. There's no way he'd be able to wield it. You're the only one. Even Domek nearly died the first time he touched it. I'm still surprised, though. He had a small vision when he did. Perhaps he has some spiritual energy inside of him. Either way, hopefully I went out in a blaze of glory.
You went out like a bitch. He literally went died. And me next. I feel like he appreciates honesty. His strength seemed incredible. Was it him or the blade?
Sylvie is an incredibly strong adversary, even without the blade.
I just won't answer the question.
Wield it. We better make sure it never enters his hands. His strength, coupled with that blade. I don't scare easily, but that's terrifying.
Okay. That's just a bold-faced lie.
There's no way he should be able to. I imagine even you're having trouble. It's not meant for just anybody to wield. You need an incredible spiritual connection. Domek might have a small one, but Sylvie? A man like that has no connection to the spirits.
I'm not gonna lie to his face. You think we'll win because of it?
Hard to say. That depends on your ability to wield it. The Triumvirate had that blade for an eternity. You don't have that much time. Not to put too much pressure on your shoulders, it's just the truth.
Demek saw our victory, though, Zamira told me. Aside from visions and blades, how do you feel about this war? I'm glad to be on the winning side. This is going to be scary.
Yeah, but you also saw me die, right? These visions aren't as reliable as I've been led to believe. Rather than seeing the future, it's almost like it shows you what to avoid.
Why are you telling me that? My sister is texting me. Unless she's going to give them to me, what? Yeah, why would you tell me that? I'm really confused. Okay.
Too bad we can't avoid what's coming to Valinor. When Dominic touched the blade, he saw Valinor fall and the rebellion win. It seems like he's embracing what he saw. Good thing you're not, or else I'd be dead.
Aside from the vision and the blades, how do you feel?
You mean how do I feel without our most valuable assets? Pretty terrible. Without visions to guide us and the power of that blade, we'd be dead. There's no way we could take them down through conventional means. However, at the moment, everything is in our favor. Everything. We just need to be careful. Do not let the Triumvirate or Sovi take that blade back. If we can do that, victory is as good as ours. A new future will rise to greet Alestia.
I'm glad yeah, we'll have some confidence.
Scary is an understatement, but I've never been more certain of our victory. Dominic is pretty excited to meet you, actually. You're going to help us win this war.
Let's see. To be honest, I actually can't see... I can't even use it.
I'm fully aware of that. It'll take some training to get used to it. When we get to Museo, Dominic will place you under a strict training regimen.
Boy.
You need to get as much practice as possible before we launch
I have a
our
feeling
attack.
that's just not going to happen. In practice, I'm sure I'll be able to master it. Would you like to try it?
Of course, and I'm glad you look at it that way. Practice makes perfect. We can't expect you to use it immediately. Just do your best to be careful. You know what that thing is capable of.
Would you like to try?
I'll pass, thanks.
Do you think maybe somebody else could wield it instead? I don't want to sound like I'm backing out. Alright. Oh my god, that was just one line! That's so much. What can you tell me about Demix and the Rebellion?
Well, the rebellion was formed around 20 years ago.
It does seem like the first
Survivors
option
of the
has a bunch of
occupation banded
branches, and then
together
the
and
rest are
sought
just
justice.
one-offs, so...
Adults trained orphan children to create the perfect soldiers. A long time has passed, and now the children are old enough to fight. And they've been perfectly trained. Almost their only purpose. Dominic was one of these children. The previous leader raised him as his own.
How did you come?
Obviously, I'm a little older. I wasn't a victim of the occupation. When it happened, I was just arriving in Museo to sell my sword arm. I moved here from Alarenthia as soon as I had the chance. Imagine wanting to get a new start and arriving in the middle of a war zone.
Wah, wah.
That's pretty much what happened. So I did what anybody
So
else
is
would
his
do.
fur
I joined the winning
painted?
side,
Or did it grow
the
like
triumvirate,
that?
with the hopes of making money.
And if it's painted, how often does he have to paint it?
It was going well, but then I realized they were killing children. I turned on them as quickly as I joined them, fighting for Museo. I was one of the first rebels. Got to watch Domek grow up firsthand.
Your situation, I have done the same.
Glad to know we think alike. Most
Killing
people
children
get
is
upset when I
pretty
tell
easy
them.
to go
The
against.
most important thing is that I'm a changed man. Our enemy is not. They need to be held accountable. They've done horrible things. And what's worse is that they don't see them as wrong. That's
see
why it
them as
falls upon
necessary,
our
don't they?
hands to take them down. With that blade, we finally have the means to do it.
Tell me more about Demix.
He's a good man. I've watched him grow into a capable soldier. He always has this way of being happy no matter the odds. Even if we lost almost every rebel, he'd find a way to keep us going. Cracking a joke or two is always in his nature, even in grim circumstances. It can lighten the mood, that's for sure. Nothing is worse than low morale. That's probably what he's best at, keeping the soldiers happy and motivated.
Seems like a good man.
I feel the same way. I'm confident that he'll lead us to victory.
So the rebellion is largely made up of occupation victims.
Absolutely. Everybody lost something special that day. Families were torn apart. Many people lost the will to live. A lot of the children only wanted one thing: revenge. And a lot of the adults saw one thing: an army ripe for training. They banded together, and the rebellion slowly became what it is today. We are finally strong enough to do something, and that's special.
Let's not judge him. I understand why it took so long to mount an offensive now.
Yeah, the bulk of the victims were children who lost their parents. Fast forward some 20-odd years and they're grown men and women. Nobody would send children to war. It was important to wait and train.
I'm just not gonna touch those subjects. Is the rebellion large? Do we have numbers to win? No. No, we
Not
do
really, but it's not numbers that we need, just strategy. The Triumvirate's honor guard is weak. One man could easily kill 50. And with that blade on our side, they can't make any more. Just a matter of time.
Do I think strategy can make up for a small army?
Of course it can. If you don't believe that, you must be new to conflict.
Well, yes.
Battles are fought and won on the war table, far before any sword is drawn.
Tell me about the previous leader.
There's not much to say. He doubled as the Elder of Valinor. You probably already know everything there is to know. You worked with him. The secrets he kept from you? Well, you've already been told. He sacrificed himself to get you that blade. Now he's gone. Domek buried him underground in Mazeo's tunnels, our new home. In fact, you could see his grave if you wanted. Pay some respects.
We can press F to pay respects. Oh, it just reminded me of a stupid meme. It was like that format where you have like the guy sitting on the couch and he's like holding his head and his like whatever friend comes up, like I don't know if it's his girlfriend, wife, or whatever, comes up and he's like, "What's wrong? What are you thinking about?" And it's like, F to pay respects will never die. Because when it dies, people will press F to pay respects. Can't let his sacrifice go to waste.
I doubt we will. He gave us a hand of winning cards. Domek is securing our HQ and planning our final attack right now. We'll sail to Balteas and take them down for good.
Miles must have been shocked to hear all of this.
I heard that he was. He had a lot of stuff to deal with. Finding out about his father's true role and leading Valinor, I can't even begin to imagine what the inside of his head is like.
Buried under the new HQ? That's rather poetic.
I guess it is. But I doubt Domek was thinking that far ahead. It was just the most convenient place to bury his body. Those tunnels were being dug up, lots of tools lying around.
Lol. Alright. Oh mon dieu.
Lots of pirates and people who were after
Tell me
money,
about
no matter
Malzeo.
what. Don't trust random people and don't buy anything from a stranger. You'd get swindled and robbed far before you found anyone genuine.
Alright. Thanks for hanging out, Hoodie. You have a good night. I promise not to make any more woes that you'll have to scrub through the VOD for. I'm also gonna wrap up here soon, I think, once I'm done talking to Ulrich. He is a long-winded lad. But yeah, have a wonderful sleep.
The occupation didn't make things too much better. It's still
It
dangerous.
was almost 11 o'clock, too.
Mazeo's
That's-
spirit
that
idol
was
was
the other
also on
reason.
its final days, dim and defeated. At least, that's what we thought, until very recently.
Tell us about the spirit idols.
Well, there's a church in Mazeo. It's supposed to be for triumvirate worship. At the altar there rests a very dim spirit idol. We assumed it was dying. But it's not even the true spirit idol. The true one rests deep underground. The one in the church was merely receiving energy from the true idol. That's why it was so dim. The source of power was far away. Nobody knows about this except for the rebellion. It's our secret. We want to try tapping into it for power. It's our only chance, too, since Alarenthia's idol was destroyed. And from what I've heard, Valanorth's died out a while back
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
my fault. Elders died when Dark Night I was born.
Is that so? I suppose that's why you're so important. Its energy went into you, and now you can wield the blade. I hope you don't misuse this gift. I'll admit, I'm a bit intimidated.
Nice. Alarinthia's was destroyed. How?
I'm not sure. It's
Somebody
one of
took a sledgehammer
Alarenthia's many
to it.
legends. Apparently, at the dawn of history, the triumvirate destroyed it. That's why Alarenthia grew into what it is today, an arid wasteland. If the triumvirate did it, we have to wonder why. Do the spirit idols pose some
Clearly.
threat to their rule? That's why Domic wants to try tapping into Mazeo's true idol.
So nobody knew Malzeo had a bigger idol.
The triumvirate suspected it. That's why they were digging in Mazeo. But after 20 years, they found nothing. It was Domic who discovered it. We decided to keep it secret. He's coming up with a plan for it right now.
Is it possible there's more idols we didn't know about?
I suppose so. If the triumvirate didn't destroy all the others. But right now, the idol in Mazeo is the only one we know about. That is, unless there's one in Balteus. But I doubt it. I mean, the triumvirate could have one hidden there, maybe. But there's no way to know for sure. We should focus on what we do know.
Okay, back. This piracy is still bad. Even after the occupation.
Yeah, the occupation didn't do much to help. No matter what anyone says. I think I'm qualified to speak on the matter. I mean, I've lived there forever. There's still an active piracy network, smuggling things from Mazeo to Alarenthia.
Yeah.
Yeah, the elimination of piracy was just an excuse. I think they were searching for the spirit idol underneath Mazeo. But what they wanted it for, and what they do with it, I have no idea.
Think we could win the pirates to our cause. I don't think
Probably
they'd care.
not. Not unless they had some reason to help us, a big one. A liberated Alestia would have no room for rampant piracy, right? There'd be no reason to help a cause that hurts their livelihood. Right now, they're a wild card. Not on our side, but not against us either. We should use that to our advantage while we can. They might turn on us later.
Is it going to be safer for me to Is it going to be safe for me to wander around Mazeo? No.
I'll be by your side. Domic should be as well. You'll be fine. We know the lay of the land and how to deal with people. Just follow our lead. Besides, most of our time will be in the Rebel HQ. It's safe there.
What will the rebellion do about the piracy after the war?
Alestia will be free. We won't have any restriction on trade. That's a good thing and a bad thing. The pirate will fight against it. We could take down the triumvirate, only to find ourselves against the pirate army.
No, we want you to keep shit outlawed so we can still pirate shit. it's some backwards logic, but it does kind of make a bit of sense. You ever sail back home to visit?
No. You couldn't even pay me to go back to Alarenthia. It's so hot it's almost unbearable. And the way they govern things is different. I know I say that Mazeo is dangerous, but Alarinthia makes it look like paradise.
Almost where you make it. Valorant is doomed. It's not doomed.
I just don't agree with the way things are done over there. The strongest tribe gets to rule the land. It's a constant power struggle. Either way, Alarinthia isn't my home. My true home is Mazeo.
That's almost where you make it.
Yeah, and that's especially true in Alarinthia. You choose your home and family. You can change your circumstances if you don't like them. On the mainland and in Mazeo, it's different. People stay in toxic relationships. I think of it different. If you don't like your family, find a new one. I've spilled enough blood to hold no blind allegiance to it.
I'm not gonna be depressed about Valinor. How do you know so?
He recently rose through the ranks and has given us tons of trouble. When the Triumvirate gets in our way, he's likely responsible. He makes himself a lot more known. Way different than the last Inquisitor. I haven't gotten to meet his apprentice yet. A Grand Inquisitor always has to train one. It ensures a constant cycle of obedience.
Well, who was the previous Grand Inquisitor?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, but as I said, I have no idea who it is. If Sovi is training him, though, I'd watch out. Seems like we'll be up against some tough opposition.
Does the Triumvirate have any more lackeys?
Not that I'm aware of, and I highly doubt it. It's just them, the Inquisition and their honor guard. Seems simple enough, but taking them down will be anything but.
You seem to know an awful lot about this. Well,
the more
yeah.
you know about the enemy, the easier it is to oppose them. This is one of the fundamental rules of war. Know what you're up against. Ignorance on the battlefield is the fastest way to meet your own end.
It's an interesting way to paraphrase that. Alright. Hey. Okay. Go through these little dialogues and wrap up. Demyx ventured back underground from the Church of Mazeo. After a lengthy journey through the tunnels, he was home. The deed was secured, and they had everything they needed.
Why did the Honor Guard do all of this? They single-handedly sheltered and armed our forces.
One of the rebels notices Demyx's sudden entrance. He quickly stands up to greet the general with a smile.
Demyx, sir. Everything is going according to plan.
Our
forces have started to relocate.
They're all Palamutes. What the fuck?
Ha! Perfect timing, Vance. I just received the deed from Grizz. It took some convincing, but I did it.
Wait, you didn't already have the deed? Why were we moving everybody down here?
He's confident.
Oops, you didn't hear anything, all right. Besides, I knew I could win him over. This was just a bit of a head start. And cut the formalities, call me Dormek. We've been through enough. This isn't about rank. I think of us all as a family, not an army.
Of course, Demyx. I'm amazed at our new HQ, to be honest. How did you secure all of this stuff?
It wasn't me, Vance. The Honor Guard was planning a long stay. They're responsible for everything you see.
You mean those things? Why would they build stuff they have no use for? They can't really fight, and they have no need for sleep.
Demyx smirked and grabbed a blade from a nearby shelf.
They must have known someone would use it. Either way, the Triumvirate doesn't know about this. Their own Honor Guard is defying orders, it would seem.
Right, because it was filled with the vengeful spirits of the people that they killed. Vance followed Demyx's lead and grabbed a blade as well.
So there's discord among them? Never thought we'd live to see that.
Yeah, but it also proves the Triumvirate isn't all-knowing. There's no way they'd let this happen if they were. They're just like us. We can take them down.
He flourishes his blade and holds it out.
That is, if we're strong enough.
It's a spar you want?
Vance smirks and mimics the flourish of his general. A few of the nearby rebels stop in their tracks to watch.
Just need to make sure you haven't gotten sloppy. As soon as the Triumvirate finds out, a fight is coming.
Don't worry, Demyx. I'm ready.
They charge at each other, and their swords clash. A loud clang of steel against steel fills their HQ. As the audience grows in size, the morale rises in tandem. Alright, what are you two going to say?
Wow, Ulrich, it's so big!
Oh, whoa? I know what I can do. Don't mind me just sending this to a friend who is a fan of this rabbit. Like I said, I feel like sometimes these are just intentionally written like this.
Yeah, I get compliments on it all the time.
Can I
Oh
touch
my
it?
god! That's fine.
Of course you can. Just be gentle, though.
Yeah, I'll do my best.
They did this on purpose. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Whoa, it's heavier than I thought.
You might want to use both hands. And tighten your grip a little bit.
Like this?
A little bit lower.
He's definitely holding his sword, but...
Oh, sure. How about now?
There you go.
There you go, that's more like it. Now, swing that sword with all your might.
I'm in tune with these characters.
Yeah!
Whoa! Watch what you're doing! You could have killed me, kid!
I'm so sorry. I've never used a great sword before.
I feel like we should keep it that way.
Oh my god. Oh, what's over here? Ah, no, fuck. Alright, well, I'm going to save here for the night.